Hi, I'm Kirsten Thoft, and I'm a LEED accredited architect, and I've been practicing in Princeton for about 30 years. And I try on all of my projects, whether they're for clients or for spec, to design with sustainability in mind. This is my house, and I'd like to show it to you. So this house was built 10 years ago, and it is a LEED Platinum certified house, one of the very first in the state of New Jersey. And I built it from the ground up to fit in with the neighborhood, so it has a sort of Victorian-ish massing, but it's quite modern on the inside, as you can see. And at the time, built it with what was the best shell I could do, which was 2x6 walls, 2 inches of spray foam, which was done before the mechanical systems, the wiring and the plumbing and so on, and then fiberglass. So we have R29 walls, and we have an R34 foundation. And at the time, things like induction stoves were just coming into the mainstream, so there's some things in this house that I wouldn't do now, but I'm going to show you anyway, one of them being the gas stove. So let me show you something out the back here. So the reason that we were able to make this a two-family, which I guess is the first time mentioning of it, but this house is technically a two-family house. There was a dilapidated, very small two-family structure on this lot when we bought it. And as part of the redevelopment, we were able to make this into a legitimate two-family. So I used the wood from the rafters of the building that we took down, and I repurposed it into this bookshelf system and a way to hide the television. So one of the gas appliances that we have in this house that I would not replace is the gas fireplace. And I like having a fireplace in the wintertime. I kind of feel like there's nothing like it. The reason that it's a sealed gas fireplace is because when I built the house to be LEED certified, it had to be a direct vent fireplace, which means it takes air in from the outside, it exhausts air to the outside, it has no contact with the inside air except to warm it up. Follow me and we're going to go see the mechanicals and the studio apartment. So right now we're in the studio apartment of the house, which is essentially in the foundation, but has windows out to the side. So studio with a kitchen and a bathroom. We have used it as a family room, as a rental, and for recuperation of mothers. And one of the features of this space is that this door connects to the rest of the house, or it shuts, and this is a shared entrance with a locked door there. So we can rent it or we can use it as part of our own house depending on how many kids are here. So one of the great things about this apartment down here is that it has a polished concrete slab which has radiant heat in it, which is pulled from the geothermal loop. And now we are going to go to the mechanical room. So this is the mechanical room in the basement, which is the guts of the house. And I wanted to show you that back there, those 2 white pipes are coming in from the geothermal loop, which is 2 wells that are 450 feet deep each. So it's a 1,900 linear foot loop in total. It comes in there, and then it's propylene glycol in the pipes, and that gets distributed to 2 pieces of equipment. This one here is essentially the condenser unit that in most houses or in air source heat pumps is on the outside of the house. Here it's inside. And this feeds either cool or warm to the two air handlers, one here for the first floor and basement, and the other up on the third floor for the third floor and second floor. And basically what geothermal or what any heat pump system does is it takes a consistent temperature, in this case whatever the ground is, which is 55 degrees year round, and in the wintertime it pulls heat out of it and blows it into the house, and in the summertime it pulls coolth out of it and blows that into the house, and then it returns the either heated up or cooled down medium, the propylene glycol, back into the earth, where through the loop it comes back to 55 degrees. This piece of equipment here is for the radiant slab, so it also pulls heat out of the propylene glycol, uses it to heat the slab in the winter. And this here is the hot water heater, which is also connected to this piece of equipment because we have what's called a de-superheater, which takes the extra heat produced in the summertime to make air conditioning, and it moves the heat into the hot water. So this basically never runs on gas in the summertime. Let's go outside and my husband Ted will show you around the yard.
I wanted to show you another part of the rain system, mitigation system at this house. So the gutters come down and are intercepted and flow into this horse trough, which it captures 50 to 100 gallons of water and slowly pours out into the gravel driveway, which then has it permeate back into the groundwater. I'll show you some other things in the backyard. So the decks and porch terrace down to handle the sloping of the land, which also helps with the rain mitigation. Over in this section is where the two 450-foot deep geothermal ground source heat pump wells were drilled when the house was built. Here you can see rain barrel with the interceptor, so that the water comes out this and flows into here and then out this way. Here we have my pride and joy, which is my 5 compost bins that I'm just actively always trying to compost everything that I see. And then here's yet another rain barrel. Generally a rainstorm will beyond fill it up, it'll overflow. But it still mitigates the first 50 gallons of water that comes through the rain. And then come on up to the porch.
Okay, now we're going to head up to the third floor to talk about the roof and the skylights. So we're on the third floor of the house, and the roof opposite me is a solar array, which is 39 PV panels. It's an 11 kilowatt system, and it provides electricity for about 90% of our needs. Consequently, there are no windows or anything on that side, but on the north side we have 3 skylights. And I like to point out the fact that I designed these with kind of splayed tops and bottoms to get as much light as possible into the space. So I wanted to point out the thickness of the roof, which you can see here. These are 2 by 12 rafters with 5 inches of spray foam and then another R19 fiberglass bat. So the whole roof is R54, and the framing in this house is called advanced framing, which means that it's 24 inches on center, and the rafters line up with the studs all the way down. So it uses less material than a standard framing package. Okay, so there are some things I would do differently with this house if I were building it now rather than 10 years ago, having to do with insulation, electrical appliances versus gas. For the most part though, I'm thrilled with it. The spaces work great for us and our family, in particular this porch, which shields the western sun and provides a wonderful place to gather and to talk to the neighbors. And we hope you see you on the street.